What if I told you that the best times to start teaching science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, isn't in high school? Yes, it's actually before a child even learns to tie their shoes. Hello, I'm Kantis, Simmons, STEM advocate, and today we're going to dive into why STEM and STEAM education belongs in the pre-K classrooms, not just in the high school robotics labs. Now, if you work with little kids, if you work with pre-K students, if you are a parent and you have a young person that is in pre-K, listen, you are in the right place, because I believe that there's a big opportunity to shape our future creators, shape our future leaders' lives and problem solvers starting today. And I want to give you a few cool reasons on why you want to start teaching STEM and STEAM to your young person. Now, if you believe that this is the best school year of your life, listen, do me a favor in the comments. I say it on all my videos. Say it for me. Say, this will be my best school year ever. Say, this will be my best school year ever in the comments. Now, say this if you're a student, if you're a parent, if you're a teacher, because I believe I'm going to give you some things that can help make this your best school year ever. Now, because you're here watching this video, I want to give you access to my best-selling STEM education book. It's called STEM is Everywhere, and it's actually activities to help your students learn it, love it, and live it. And you can actually use these in the classroom. You can use these at home. You can use these and having general conversations with your students. So let's jump into a few different reasons why you want to start STEM and STEAM education at the pre-K level, right? Any little person that is below first grade, okay? Just the other day I was speaking, where was I? I was in Chicago, I was in Chicago, and I was speaking at a early childhood education conference. And it was a beautiful conference there put on by Dr. Ty and the amazing university there. And one of the things that I've come to understand is that STEM plus AI is the future, right? STEM plus AI is the future. And I really want to say STEM plus AI is the present. But one of the things that I was sharing with these early childhood educators, these were childcare providers, these were teachers, these were people that were working with your young people, is that many of them feel overwhelmed by the thought of STEM and STEAM. But the reality is, your young person is using technology before they can even talk, right? They're swiping on phones and iPads even before they can walk. And so what I want you to realize is that regardless of where you are, we have to start STEM and STEAM education early on, right? STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Even parts of our education system use STEAM, where they use the A for art. Okay, so let me give you a few reasons why you want to start early. Number one, because of brain development. All right, you want to start early with your young person because of brain development. Now, research shows that 90% of a child's brain development happens before the age of 5. Think about that. 90% of a child's brain development happens before the age of 5. Let me put it to you this way. 90% of who I am today happened before the age of 5. Okay? So that means early exposure to STEM and STEAM actually builds critical, neutral pathways in the brain. And now it shapes how your young person thinks. It shapes how they solve problems, and it shapes how they process the world. So why do we want to start early? It's because the brain is like a brand new computer. And what we put on our young person will determine how they live their lives. I think I even saw one report that said teaching STEM and STEAM to a young person early on puts them in a position to double their total income compared to someone that was never really exposed to STEM and STEAM. Okay, so number one, we want to expose them because of brain development. Number two, guess what? Your kids at that age, they have a natural curiosity, right? Kids are born with curiosity. You've seen them. They'll go to the stove. They'll grab the remote. They'll play in the toilet stool, right? They will look at the steps and try to climb the steps. Like, kids are absolutely curious. I love when I'm riding with a young person, or I see a young person specifically, maybe at the grocery store, right? And, their parents are pushing them around in the shopping carts, and they're just listening, right? They're listening and they're looking, and their heads are sort of swivel, and they'll sit there and stare. And I'm like, what are you looking at? Guess what? Kids are curious, right? When they start talking, they love to ask questions. They love to explore. They love to mix stuff. They love to build stuff. They love to break stuff. And again, guess what? STEM learning harness their curiosity. Yes, STEM and STEAM learning harnesses their curiosity, and it channels them to now develop lifelong learning and habits. Okay, so we want to expose them to STEM because of their curiosity. Okay, so number one, their brain development. Number two, around curiosity. And number three, what we want to make sure that we do is that STEM causes them to build their confidence. Early STEM exposure causes them to be more confident. A lot of times people think that STEM is all about calculus. It's all about technology. It's all about all of this other higher level things that we hear about in high school and college. But the beautiful thing is about it is that it's playful discovery. I believe, like I said earlier, STEM is everywhere. Where I talk about activities that we can look everywhere of how we can use STEM. But when kids start early, building a tower or coding a robot or understanding how things are built or playing with technology, guess what you're doing? You're building their confidence early on. So when they start getting to the higher level classes, it's not hard to them, right? So now STEM develops confidence, it develops resilience, it develops critical thinking because we started earlier, okay? So how do we do this? We build confidence through play. Right? The things they play with, the things they see, the things that they're exposed to, now we're building confidence. All right? The fourth reason why we want to expose our young kids and our pre-K individuals to STEM and STEAM is because it levels the playing field, okay? It levels the playing field. What do you mean, right? So if you introduce STEM and STEAM to a young person early, it actually closes the gap, right? One of the things that I realized that I was and I am in the minority where science and technology, engineering, and math is concerned. I remember coming through high school, right? We have big classes. Then as I started going through certain classes and certain tracks, my classes, they got smaller. Then when I went to college, a huge college, went to Norfolk State University. I was in a STEM type of program there. Classes were smaller. Then I went to grad school, and guess what? I was the only African-American young man in my grad school class. And then when I went to grad school again, the only one. When I started working at NASA, it was only a few of us. Guess what? By starting them in STEM early, it levels the playing field. Yes, it levels the playing field, simply meaning that by starting them early is going to close the gap. So now, by exposing them to science and technology and math, they won't feel like it's so hard when they go through middle school and high school and going to college. All right. So we actually create equity by starting them younger. All right. So listen, if you have a young person in your life, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a parent, whether you are a leader in this space, I want you to understand that STEM, number one, is everywhere, but it's also so important that we take the time to understand that STEM is a great place because the brain is being developed. Number two, your young person is very curious about life. They were born curious. So now let's go ahead and put them in a position to understand science, technology, engineering, and math. Not only that, but through play, through the things that they love doing, guess what? Confidence is built around that. And it also helps us level the playing field so that now, regardless of where your young person is, they will be highly prepared. And when it's time to play at a higher level, guess what? They have a little bit more confidence, a little bit more resilience because they chose to start STEM early. Okay? So listen, if you're an educator, guess what? You're not babysitting your young people. Yeah. If you are a teacher in this area, it's not just babysitting somebody in pre-K. You're actually building their future. All right. So listen, if you need my help in this area, listen, click the link down below. I have some resources there. You get access to this book, some activities there, some other cool things so that you can help STEM them early and give you more activities and tips and step-by-step trainings that you can apply in your classroom. You can apply in your home. So guess what? You can transform your students and transform your classroom and your home today. I'm Kantis Simmons, the coolest guy with 7.25 fingers. And remember this, there's only one game in life counts, and that's your A game. Now listen, I have some more videos right here that you want to check out. Anything around STEM is everywhere, and show you how you can help your students learn it, love it, and live it. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.